Hello and welcome to today's buy-side webinar, and today we're going to be talking about your corporate home valuation site, how we can generate new seller leads for our brokerage, and how we can see those new seller leads. A quick agenda for what we're going to be looking at today is we'll take a look at who buy-side is, and what buy-side can do for you, so how we're going to be able to use this marketing suite to send out ways to get new leads for your brokerage. We'll also take a look at the home valuation site and what's on the report. So when you send this out and your clients click on it, what is the information that they're going to see? And we'll also talk about how you can send this out to other people. So how you can get this in the hands of your clients to start getting those new leads. Now, you may have heard the expression big data before, but what this means is that there's information online all over the internet that we can use to talk about our market that shows us the direction of our market, which is why we like to call this big data signals. We use these signals to see where our market's going, who's interested in buying, who's interested in selling, and different ways that we can see that information online and use it for our brokerage. Now, one way that we can see that someone was able to use those signals with the technology that they had was this guy in 1926. Nikola Tesla said, "When wireless is perfectly applied, the whole earth will be converted into a huge brain, which is in fact all things being particles of a real and rhythmic whole. We shall be able to communicate with one another irrespective of distance. Not only this, but through television and telephony, we shall see and hear one another as perfectly as though we were face to face." Now, he's talking about the internet, specifically about tools that we're using right now. If we're on webinars, if we're using FaceTime, we're talking about a technology that was developed and we're using today. So he was able to use the signals, the data of his time, and call the technology that we're using today. So we can see from this information, from all of this data that we have online, ways that we can use these for our industry. Now, successful companies will also leverage this data to gain the competitive edge. Now, there's a few companies that do this really well, but one of them is Amazon. Amazon uses buyer trends to know how much to charge for items. So have you ever done this, where you put something in your cart and it's at $10.50, and then you take a break? You go and make yourself a drink, or you take a client call, and then when you come back, it's at $10.80. Well, what happened? That's supply and demand that they're able to adjust for in real time. So as these items online become more desirable, more people are purchasing them, they are able to adjust for supply and demand in real time. Now, the other thing you may have heard about is called anticipatory shipping. So before you click the buy now button, they will ship that item directly to your local distribution center so that they can fulfill that 3-day promise. Now, they're able to do this by looking at your history and other people's history and billions of signals from people just like us, so that they can anticipate needs before you click that buy now button. Now, the question is, how do we leverage that big data in real estate? So the challenge is that your data is fragmented. It's in all of these different places. So you can have data in your CRM, in your mobile users, your mobile device, your saved properties, your website. All of these different places have information on them. But it would be more than a full-time job just to figure out what all of this information means. So the solution is what we've created. We've created one single place that's going to have all of this information. So we're going to help you do all of these different things. And today we're going to be talking about capturing new seller leads and how you'll be able to do that for your brokerage. When you get to buy side, you'll see that you'll land on your marketing suite. Here, the first tab says Home Valuation Site. This is where you can preview your home valuation site. If this is your first time logging in, I recommend previewing it by clicking on the big box in the middle. This will take you to the home valuation site where you get to enter your address. You'll notice that there is no forced login. They're not going to have to enter in a username or a password. All they need is to put their address into the text box, and they can find their address. Once you've selected an address from the drop-down menu, it will take you to the home valuation page where you can see all this information about your home valuation. So here we can see that we have the address that we just put in, and the information pulled from public records, so bedrooms, bathrooms, and square footage. Now we also provide an edit button as well. This way, if the information that gets pulled is incorrect, they can correct this information. But if somebody is making edits to this page, we'll want them to verify their ownership. You can also receive monthly updates on this property. So if your client is interested in seeing this report every single month, they can sign up for this report by putting in their first and last name and the email address. And it'll email a copy of this report with their address inside of it every single month. That way we can stay in flow with our client as the months go on. So if they're not ready to buy or sell just yet, they'll be able to see this report as time goes on. Then we have our AVMs. This is your automated valuation models. We have a Google image on top of the listing, and then those valuation models that comes from 3 different sources. Now the point here is that there's variation in each of these. We can see that the average is different, which is the big number on top, but below is the range. So it could be anywhere from 1,327,000 all the way up to 1,826,000 based on these automated valuation models. So the point here is that they'll need an expert to help them price their listing right the first time. So we can contact an expert, which is us. So we give them that contact us right here, the call to action on this form. And all they need to do is fill out their name, their email address, and phone number, and what type of buyer they are. Now it only takes a few seconds to fill all this out, but we notice that about 25% of people that come to this page fill out this form, and we get these really warm leads. So we can send contact, and away it goes. And that's as quickly as it takes to get this message to your client. Next we have the condition of the property. So here we can see the choices: needs work, good, and excellent. Now we put this slider on needs work because we want to tug at their heartstrings. We want them to think, hey, I have an excellent listing, why is it here? But we can move this slider, but if anybody's going to make changes, we want to make sure that they are the owner, so we can verify this ownership. Then we have our buyer heat map, and this is a way for you to share market information with your client. So we can show them how active this area is. Now the point isn't that we cross our fingers and we hope that they land in a red area. It's that we're providing this information. We're giving them information about the market as it happens right now. So if we're going to price their listing right the first time, we'll take all of this information into account. So if it is very active, we might price that differently if it's less active. So we can give this information to them as they're thinking about buying or selling. We also have supply side trends, so they can see how the market has moved over the last few years. So as it moves through quarter to quarter, we can see all the way back to 2016, which is going to show the fluctuation in the market throughout the course of each year. So we know that there are peaks and valleys as we go through each specific year. Then we have nearby sales. This is another way to get that trust with your client, so they can see all of these different comparables from their neighborhood. So odds are they've seen these listings before because they are just a few blocks away. So they can see the bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, what the actual sold price was, and when it was sold. So they know that there are a lot of listings that have recently been sold in their area. Now, once they get to the bottom of this page, they have access to another contact form. So if they haven't done so yet and they consume all this information, they can then contact you directly. Or once they get to the bottom of the report, they can receive those monthly updates. So they think this information was great, so I'm going to get this report every single month so I can track what's happening with my listing, what's going on in my area, and what's happening in the market. Now, how can we share this out with people? Well, there's a few ways. One is we can select email signature. And this is a way for you to put this link into your email signature. And you can see it right here. If we highlight this, this is a link. We can click on it and it will take us to our home valuation site. So we can copy this and paste it in our email signature. So every communication that goes out is a possible lead. We can also copy the link. So if you wanted to put this in an email blast, a newsletter, or anywhere else that a URL can go, you can send it there just by copying that link. So anywhere that this URL can go, we can paste it. So if you wanted to text it directly from your computer to your client, you could do that here. Next is social media. So you can share your home valuation site on your social media page just by hovering over this icon and going to one of these social media pages. So if we select Facebook, which is the most common way to share business things with our clients, we can see that it shows up with the link already here. So I don't have to add the link. All I have to do is type in a comment and select where it wants to go. So I can share this to my newsfeed. I can share it in a group if I'm farming in a specific area. I can send it to that group and they can see what their home is worth in that neighborhood. Or I can share it to a page you manage, which is your Facebook business page. So if you have a few of these, you can select which one, and away it goes, and it'll be shared to our Facebook page. And it's that simple. All we have to do is select Post to Facebook. The last way to share this out is your widget. So all we would have to do is copy the widget code from one of these boxes, and then paste it into our website. Now, this is pretty tech savvy, so if you're not somebody who's fairly tech savvy, I would recommend sending this to your website designer so that they can set this up for you. But if you are familiar with widget codes, it's pretty straightforward, and you can design it however you'd like. Last is the My Leads page. So here we can see we've got the contact information for the person that ran our site. So we can see our name, email address, and our phone number that we can call for this lead. Now we also see the owner's name that's pulled from public records. So if this person claims their listing, we can see if the name that they gave us matches the name that's on file. It also has the address. So we can see the address that they ran. Now if they asked for an inquiry, odds are they're going to have questions about the report that they just saw. So we can click on that and get to the report that they saw that they'll have questions on. Next is how they interacted with the report. So you can see if they signed up for the monthly report, if they asked for an inquiry, and if they claimed their listing. So if any of these are lit up, this is a very warm lead. On the right, you can also see the valuations from the page. So those valuations that they saw on that page will show up here. Now you will see a number of these that have no name provided. Now this just means that they put their address into the page, but they didn't fill out the form and they didn't sign up for the monthly report. But we still have their address and their name. So we can download these as Avery labels, which means we can send these out as mailers, which means every person that visits your home valuation site is a possible lead. So we can export those as Avery labels and send out our mailers to whoever runs a lead on our page. You also have out of area. So if we share this page on our social media, not everybody that clicks on that and runs their address is going to be in an area that we service. So we can see all of the people that are out of the area that we service, which means we can start to use this for our referral business. So all of those leads that come in that we may not be able to help, well, we can send that to another agent and start to build our referral business. We've now seen an overview of your corporate marketing suite, how to access your home valuation page, how to distribute this, and how to access those leads.